There are many other risks experts are worried about. Some suggest scenarios such as an all-out great power conflict between superpowers like the US and China that can cause devastation across the globe, the fall of many countries to tyranny with very harsh limitations, humanity descending into political or societal dysfunction if the current issues with our fragmented media gets worse, fears from other emerging technologies like nanotech, or other potentially disastrous social or economic situations like not having enough resources on Earth to sustain the population over time, or the possible harms of increasing inequality, amongst others. Though, there is an incredibly important point to make. It's really hard to predict what will happen in the future. Many times, when we are trying to assess future harms based on worrying trajectories, we end up missing the fact that the problem might become irrelevant in surprising ways. A famous anecdote is that in late 19th century London, there was fear that the city would face a huge crisis due to mounting horse manure from carriages, to such an extent that the London Times supposedly predicted that in 50 years' time, every street in London would be buried under 9 feet of manure. You can imagine the risk that poses. But ultimately, this issue was unexpectedly resolved, not by directly tackling the problem, but by the invention of motorized vehicles, or cars. So the risks we worry about today might end up less of a big deal than they seem right now. But it's worthwhile to remember that, many times, experts were fully right to ring the alarm bells. And importantly, a part of the argument that it's hard to predict the future cuts both ways. Consider that if you had asked people in the 1920s what the greatest risk to civilization would be in a few decades, they probably would not have suggested nuclear weapons or most of what we discussed. So unfortunately, it is also likely there are going to be many technologies, including dangerous ones, that we are not currently expecting. So much so that this problem of unknown unknowns is what some people are concerned about the most and advocate that in order to reduce risks, we should mostly focus on being shock resistant and building capacity to recover from any catastrophe, because who knows what's going to come. Where does all of that leave us? Due to the plurality and severity of risks, it seems reasonable to be concerned and think about human-originating risks and mitigations seriously. But we need to remember that all of what we've described so far are just negative scenarios. The big question is, are they likely?